Hey everybody, it's Ryan coming to you this week with another traction tip. So when I was a kid, my dad managed a McDonald's, and some of my earliest and fondest memories are of hanging out around that McDonald's. I had a birthday party there, got to meet Ronald and Grimace and the crew, and I don't think I'll ever forget, 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. And I guess that's why even today there's a special place in my heart for Big Macs. I don't eat nearly as many as I used to, thankfully, but every now and then I still get my hands on one. What makes a Big Mac is the secret sauce. And that's what we're talking about today, the secret sauce of EOS, and that is a professional implementer. The question is, should you hire a professional implementer? So we'll actually break this up into 2 parts. Today we'll address the first question first of all, is EOS even right for everyone? And spoiler alert, the answer is no, EOS is not right for everyone. We'll talk about that more in a minute. Then the next question is, if EOS is right for you, should you hire a pro? So we'll talk about that a little bit today. Then part 2, we'll jump into some of the reasons you may want to consider hiring a pro. So without further ado, let's jump in. Is EOS right for everyone? So like I said, the answer is no. One of the first things we do as a professional implementer, when I start working or talking to a new prospect, I walk them through the org checkup. It's just a simple survey that measures your strengths, your company's strengths in the 6 major parts of the business. We call these the 6 key components. And if you finish that survey and you got to 100, you were 100% strong, that means that your business is running exactly like you want it to. It's a well-oiled machine. You wouldn't change a thing, and you're getting every single thing you want from your business. Then I'll tell you, don't change anything. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You don't need EOS because whatever you've got is working. And that's theoretically possible. Personally, I've never seen a company go through and be 100% strong, but it's possible. So if that's the case, you don't need EOS. The second scenario, though, is, in EOS, our logo is a light bulb, and that's no accident. One of the things as a professional implementer that I get to help companies do is turn on the light. I get to shine that light on the nooks and crannies of the business, things that maybe they haven't looked at very closely or maybe haven't looked at all in a while, and that's a good thing. By shining the light, we get to see where we can strengthen those parts of the business. A great company needs to be strong in every area, and so by shining the light on each area of the business, we can make sure we're strong there. So again, that's a good thing, but everybody doesn't like to do it. If you're going to turn the light switch off every time we turn it on, EOS is not a good fit. You're just going to frustrate yourself, frustrate your team, waste your time, waste your money. EOS is not a good fit for you if that's the case. But the good news is that EOS is a good fit for most businesses. I'll tell you, about 90% of the businesses that I talk to, EOS is a great fit for them and can help them immensely. So then the question is, if EOS is a good fit, should you hire a professional implementer? I'll tell you again, the answer maybe, maybe not. I would say probably the last 4 clients, 4 businesses I've talked to, I've told 2 of them, you're not ready to hire a professional. Self-implement, basically run EOS as well as you can on your own. Give me a call if you've got questions, and I'll be happy to help. So, Gino has written a great book, Traction. It's a great place to start. So if you're wondering, start with Traction, give me a call, either way. But if you're thinking, should you hire a pro, one of the things I ask businesses is, how big are you? One of the things I found, until you're 7, 8, 9, really 10 employees, it's hard to justify the time needed, the resources needed, the money needed to use to hire a professional. For example, can you be out of the office a full day every quarter? Can your leadership team be out of the office a full day every quarter to work with me? If the answer is no, we can't afford to be out of the business for a full day, then it may not be time to hire a pro. If you can't be out of the office to work on it for a full day, then maybe it's time to just self-implement. The good news is that even self-implementing, you'll see some improvements, and as you grow, you may find that it's time to hire a pro down the road. At that time, give me a call. And if you decide to self-implement, if you run into questions or have issues, or if there's something that's not clear, again, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. So, at one point I was on your side of the table. Years ago, I had multiple businesses. I had some issues. I felt like the businesses weren't living up to their full potential, and I found EOS. And I'll tell you, it was a godsend. Then the question was, do I hire a pro or do I self-implement? Gino's got the great resources out there in the book Traction. Do I just implement what I know from the book? Well, I had a unique opportunity. I knew lots of other companies who were using EOS. So I talked to some who had self-implemented, and they were happy. I talked to some who were using a pro, and they were happy. But what I found is that the ones who had self-implemented, they had a few questions, and while they made progress, they hadn't made nearly the progress as the companies who were using a professional. They were a lot farther, a lot faster than those who had self-implemented. Now the good news is every one of them were better than the companies who weren't using EOS at all. So EOS is is a great fit for most of them. Just the question is, do you hire a pro or do you not? It really boils down to return on investment. That was my justification all those years ago. I said, I'm a numbers guy. As a leader, I felt it was my responsibility to take the resources of the business, invest them wisely, and get the biggest bang for my buck, the biggest return. I ended up hiring a professional, $29 to 1. For every dollar I spent with that professional implementer, I made or saved $29. So I'm not guaranteeing you're going to see a 29-1 to return ratio, but there's really no reason why you couldn't if you really dive in and embrace EOS. I'll tell you, you can tell I'm passionate about it. I love this. This is my life. And next time, part 2, we'll get into some of the reasons, other reasons you may want to hire a professional implementer. So have a great week. I'll talk to you next time.